Hi, welcome to IELTS PTE Success. Today we are going to be discussing the IELTS Listening exam. What is the test about? What goes into the test? What are you supposed to do during the test? And what are the available practice resources that can help you get the best possible scores? So, what is the listening test about? Now, the listening test assesses your understanding of the spoken English language. This is a test which has a tape which is played for approximately 30 minutes, and there are four parts to the test which are split across 40 questions. There will be a range of accents that you will hear across the entire tape played. It could be American, it could be British, Canadian, or Australian. And the recording is only played once, which is the first and most important rule to remember. There will be a variety of question types. For example, true and false, multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks, or choose a word or a letter, these kind of questions. And the answers are to be written on the question paper if you are attempting the paper based exam, and then transfer them in the last 10 minutes onto your answer sheet. But if you're giving the online version of the IELTS, then you do get a few seconds after each tape recording is played so that you can check your answers and then move on to the next section. If you're giving the paper based IELTS, a very important tip to remember that you can use a pencil rather than writing with a pen. In this case, in case you have made any errors, you can always correct them and rewrite them. Also, please pay very attention when you are transferring answers, because sometimes we write answer number 6 on question number 5 and then you will mess up the entire sequence further. So do pay attention, and in this case, if you are bound to make errors, do use a pencil. There is a new update for this year's IELTS, that there is no example that is played before your listening test begins. So do pay attention and be very, very alert. These are 30 minutes where your attention shouldn't waver. You should not be distracted by anything, but be only focused on what you're listening and what are you supposed to write on your question paper and then in your answer sheet. So, what are you supposed to do during the test? Now, the whole part about during the test, I have split it into three sections. One is before listening. What are you supposed to be doing while listening? And what are you supposed to do after listening? So, let's begin with the first part, which is what do you do before you listen to the recording? Always read your instructions that are given and then read the questions. You will always get a little bit of time to read your instructions and the questions before the recording begins to play. This gives you a chance to predict what you will hear, and also accordingly listen for the kind of answers you have to put in that particular question. Now, always check the number of words that are allowed. There are certain questions which say no more than 3 words. So if you write more than 4 or 3 or more than 3, then you will lose a mark. Each question carries a mark, so be very, very careful. The kind of answer that is expected can be understood from reading the questions. So don't waste time when they give you a little bit of time before you read answer the questions, so that can make you understand what are you going to be predicting or what are you going to be expecting out of these answers. You must look out for synonyms and antonyms, that is, similar sounding words and opposites. This will give you an idea of what you have heard and accordingly look for an answer. Since the recording will proceed chronologically, don't expect the answer for number 6 to come before answer number 4. It will always proceed in a chronological order. Now, again, in the listening test, the spellings are very, very important. So, before you are going to write down, always remember that you have to write the correct spelling. While listening, what are you supposed to do while listening? You are supposed to write your answers on the question paper if you are attempting the paper based IELTS. Don't write them on your answer sheet, because you have to keep listening for answers. You are bound to make mistakes. Sometimes we are unsure of answers, and it is better that you write them down on your question paper and then transfer them. You are being given 10 minutes to transfer, so utilize those 10 minutes at the end. Focus on understanding the overall meaning. There are times certain sentences will be spoken where you will not know the meaning of certain words. Try to get the overall meaning. Don't waste time trying to understand every single word. You will lose out on information for the future questions. Do not panic. Just read and try to understand an answer or derive at an answer if you have not heard the correct response. And if you feel you've got the answer for a particular bit, wait for that sentence to finish or for that particular piece to get over. Sometimes they change the answer in the next sentence. So in this case, don't hurry to mark the correct answer. Just wait, listen, and then mark it. Avoid using your general knowledge to attempt these questions. You have to only answer the listening test based on what you hear in the tape recording. A good tip is to eliminate the wrong answers first, and then find the right answer. This could be done in the case of multiple choice questions. All answers are given in the same sequence, so you don't have to worry about, oh, did I miss this, or what if this question comes before? Now, what do you do once you've done listening? Always check your answers on the question paper, or even if you've given the online version of the IELTS, check your answers and the word limit, and then proceed forward. Read the instructions for the next question in case you have another section coming up. Don't waste time looking back at the answers again and again. Use this time to read what is given in the future questions. Don't leave any question blank. This exam does not have any negative marking. It is a big advantage. So, supposing you have missed out on question number 10, proceed forward, come back in the end, and just write something based on what you heard. You will, why lose a mark over there? You might just have gotten it right. You just didn't hear it at that point of time. If you're in doubt, just guess the answer. Better get something than nothing at all. Always check your spellings before you transfer the answers. Sometimes when we're in a hurry, we might write down in short forms. Don't copy it exactly. Make sure you are writing the correct spelling of every word that you write. Pay attention to proper nouns, capitals, and of course, always check your word limit. Don't exceed more than what is expected in the question. Always check the question number before writing the answer. Don't write the wrong answer next to a wrong question. You will lose marks, even if your answer was right. And again, coming back to it, use a pencil to write your answers in the written exam. It just helps you reduce the number of errors you can make. So, what are the practice resources that you can use to get yourself better and better at listening and attempting questions? The most obvious is that you can do test papers and, you know, improve your scores. But for a lot of us, we don't understand accents, and solving test papers is not the key to getting a great score. Yes, you will get a good understanding of the listening exam, but to understand accents, to understand the way a person is speaking, to understand the tone, you have to get used to the English language. So I have my own personal recommendations. Watch TV, especially watching the news, watching English movies or English shows. This really helps. I have personally been a big fan of uh, watching BBC because of the way they speak, or you can watch Voice of America. These are the two distinguished accents to get yourself going with them. Watch some English movies on TV, and watch it with subtitles. It helps. Watch English shows. This is what gets you used to that particular kind of accent so that you can understand when someone is speaking in a particular way. The radio, a lot of us don't listen to it nowadays, but sometimes when it is on, listen to the English radio, the way they are talking on the radio, and the way they give out news, listening to English songs. It helps you understand the tone and the accent better. New favorite is watching online videos. It's the trend of nowadays. YouTube, BBC, and my personal favorite is Netflix. I personally enjoy it because they have a lot of these subtitles, especially on for your English movies and shows, which really helps you understand particular words and how they are pronounced in certain accents. So when you're watching an English show or an American show, we are not able to understand the kind of words they say. But when you read the subtitles, you get a hang of it. BBC is a classic favorite. You must watch how they present their news, their documentary. It is a very, very good way to learn English. You will improve your vocabulary with it as well. YouTube is the best source to go to everything. Any kind of words you want to pick up, any kind of videos, any kind of shows, if you're watching them, any kind of learning material, all of this just helps you get better and better at understanding the English language, understanding different accents. So you have all these resources available if you have access to internet, and why not make the most of it? So that's it from us today here at IELTS PD Success. I hope what we have discussed today is very helpful for you to get the best possible score in your listening exam. And in case you have any queries, you want more tips from us, or you want any personalized assistance, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you for watching. See you soon.